More now on our top story. A vote on a contentious legislation at Queen's Park today that would give the education minister more power to take control of school boards is expected. Well, joining us with his thoughts on Bill 33 is David Mastin, president of the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. We appreciate your time, David. I want to get your take on what's playing out today.
Yeah, what's playing out today is deeply disturbing. Ever since we found out that this government had tabled legislation to facilitate and accelerate the ability for this government to remove elected trustees in every school board, we've been deeply concerned. It's an authoritarian move. It's an attempt to distract the public from what the real problems in public education are, and that's a government who has systematically underfunded the system by a tune of $6.3 billion over the last 7 years.
Well, what do you think is going to happen if and when this moves forward? What do you think is going to happen to the schools, the quality of the teaching and the education?
Well, there's going to be a number of immediate impacts. Certainly from a parent perspective, their ability to reach out to an elected official in their own community who understands their community, who was elected by community to represent their needs at the school board. Those people are potentially not going to be there. This government has tabled and is going to pass this bill that's going to facilitate the removal. And in fact, in some school boards, they have already done that. So immediately for parents, not having someone to turn to who understands their community to be able to facilitate finding of solutions for their children. This is going to be an immediate impact, and there'll be many more impacts beyond that as this starts to roll itself out.
You know, the education minister essentially says that he wants to, have his ministry essentially step in before things, as he says, fall completely apart, that he wants to interject if things aren't going well or if money is being misspent. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, things are falling apart because this government has underfunded the system. They have methodically tried to undermine the public trust of public education over the last number of years since they've come to power. This is a distraction from their inadequate leadership, from their deliberate underfunding, for their attempts to dismantle the system. And they're trying to shift the blame onto another body, a body of people who have tried to do their best with an underfunded, suffocated financial system.
I think we've heard from many school boards and other unions as well that there is underfunding. At the same time, when you're talking about misuse, spent expenses, part of the issue that Paul Calandra has raised is looking at several districts and several school boards that have clear examples of money being misused. I have several of them in front of me, and I'm sure many of them. We're talking about 4 trustees spending $50,000 to go to Italy, spending $100,000 on public for artwork for the school, including $1,600 meals, $38,000 for retreats for 18 school staff members at Toronto hotels overlooking the Blue Jays Park, $32,000 to attend conferences. I could keep on going. $15 milkshakes and Apple TV subscriptions to even one school trustee. And the list keeps on going. And that's about just $500,000 there. So what do you say to those who say, listen, we appreciate what your position is, but we have a lot of waste being spent from trustees who are wasting taxpayers' money?
Yeah, there's no excuse for any of those things. And, our government is set up from an electoral perspective so that members of the public have their say. There is accountability for those things baked into our system. And when those things happen, local communities should, at the end of a 4-year term, have the freedom to vote these people out of office. And, when we talk about the financial mismanagement of those precious public dollars, we've got a provincial government right now that has also been accused of not dealing with the finances that they've got in an appropriate way as well. But the federal government is not stepping in and saying, let's remove the premier from office, let's remove the provincial government from office because there is financial mismanagement. There is an accountability structure built in at the end of a 4-year term. Citizens have the ability to vote these people out of office.
Just lastly, before I let you go, we know that the Ontario is investing $30 billion. What was the number that you were hoping to see in the budget?
Well, I can't say exactly what the number needs to be. I just know that on the ground, our members need to see supports for the students that are in their care. Students are struggling right now. They need to have additional supports, both mental, physical, emotional supports that they're not getting right now. And too many of our members are leaving the profession because they cannot fulfill that high quality of service that they need to, because the supports for students who have very, very diverse and significant needs are not being met.
David Mastin, president of ETFO, we appreciate your time. Thank you.